Hey guys, it's Mr. Saseta. I'm here to show you how to complete 105 crop rotation assignment. So we're going to click on the 105 crop rotation. It says today we will complete a check-in, the links attached, and learn about crop rotation. So to do our check-in, we've done this before. We're going to do our rows and thorns. You're going to click right here where it says sign in, and that is going to be our Pear Deck link so we can do our check-in. So you're going to pick how you're feeling. Already did that. Okay, so we've done the rose and thorn before, but this is a Christmas rose and thorn. So I want you to take a few moments to think to yourself about a rose. If you guys remember, a rose is something good. So I want you to think about something good that happened to you over break, and then think about a thorn, because life isn't always good and it's not always roses. Even roses have thorns. So something maybe not so good happened over break. So go ahead and think about, what is that something that happened over break that maybe could have gone better? Something that you weren't so happy about. So go ahead and write your answer here. Try to be detailed, and then make sure you're being honest and self-aware. Once you're done checking in, you can exit out of that. And then it says, number 1, watch the video, which is on slide 1. Number 2, review the slideshow. And number 3, complete a quick draw and write on the Jamboard, which is on slide 6. So this is the only slide you're going to need. Okay, so we're going to learn about crop rotation today. Changing the crops in a field, usually season by season. That's what crop rotation is. So we're going to change what we grow in each of our gardens every year or every season, and there's multiple seasons depending on where you are. So in Texas, we have our spring, things that grow in spring, and then we have our fall season, but we can also grow things in winter and in summer here. So we have all 4 seasons where we could actually be growing. It says click the photo to watch the video, so make sure you click there and watch the video. So some examples of crop rotation is, let's say that a farmer planted a field of corn. Now he's harvested all of his corn, which means he's taken the corn out of the ground so he can sell it. Next, instead of putting corn there again, he's actually going to plant beans there instead. Because if you would plant corn, the corn would take out too much nitrogen from the soil, but beans actually return nitrogen to the soil. So he knows that he needs to swap out what he's been growing. So how does it work? This is really just changing your crops season by season in a planned sequence. So you're going to want to plan and maybe even take notes. What did I have here last season, and what do I think would work best next? When you do this, it'll improve the soil, and it provides the crops a benefit over the length of the rotation. So this is very important, because if a farmer keeps planting the same crop in the same place every year, which is very common in conventional farming, that means that you're taking the same nutrients out of the soil all year long, every year. You're always taking the same nutrients out of the soil. And then this makes it easy for pests and disease to make themselves a home. And they know that their preferred type of food is going to be there every year, so they're just going to make that their home. So we call this a monoculture. So we've had the same field with corn and only corn for the past decade. We call that a monoculture. Another example of a monoculture would be like your yard, which is 100% grass. Only thing growing in there is grass. That'd be a monoculture. Mono means one. So when we do things like this, we increase the levels of chemical fertilizer and pesticides, because there's more bugs coming in and more diseases coming in. So we have to put more of those chemicals into our plants, which we don't want. So doing this crop rotation, it reduces the need for these pesticides and herbicides. It reduces pests and it reduces disease, and it improves our soil. So how it helps: reduces fertilizer needs, reduces pesticides, protects our water quality, reduces erosion, increases the organic matter in our soil, and it adds diversity, which is very important, biodiversity. Then it also provides food and cover for wildlife. So some technical notes. The crops that you're growing have to be suited for your climate and soil, which is why we always use the Texas A&M planting guide. You're going to want to design the crop rotations to meet your crop's needs. Sometimes you're going to want to include some small grains, and they help with erosion. They help control erosion, which is the moving away of the soil. So make sure that you're switching crops to maintain perennials in the rotation if necessary, and then consider that those herbicides may carry over. So be careful with that if you want to avoid your crop failure. Now you're going to go to Jamboard, make a copy, and you're going to complete a quick write, quick draw. So the left, you draw an example of what crop rotation is. On the right, you're going to write an example of what crop rotation is. You can use a drawing tool. There's also a text tool. No inserting images, okay? Drawing and writing. If you have any questions, comment on the assignment.